That's correct, sir. The castle is completely isolated. We'll maintain maximum security throughout the conference.
Right, Captain Scarlet. I'll wait for your final clearance before allowing the delegates to land.
SIG.
Night had fallen upon the castle, and Captain Scarlet was looking out of the window of his bedroom. Scanning the castle area with binoculars, he spotted a figure high on the battlements.
I thought there was no way up there.
Is Symphony Angel ready for takeoff?
Yes, sir. She's on the launch platform. The delegates are on board the Magnacopter.
All right, launch Magnacopter.
Symphony Angel, you're clear to go.
SIG.
Symphony Angel gently lifted the Magnacopter into the air, with the delegates safely aboard. The journey from Cloud Base to the castle was underway.
Magnacopter airborne, sir.
Right. But I'm not going to let that aircraft touch down at the castle until Captain Scarlet gives me final clearance.
Meanwhile, Captain Scarlet was exploring the castle alone. He'd become curious about that portrait in the conference room. Could there still be a passageway that led up onto the battlements? And who was the mysterious figure he'd seen up there? While the others slept, he intended to find out. Quietly walking down the main hall, he approached the closed door to the conference room. Turning the handle, he pushed open the door and cautiously peered inside. The room was still and quiet, the table all laid out for the visiting VIPs. Closing the door behind him, Captain Scarlet entered the room. He walked slowly towards the portrait that had attracted his attention earlier. Yet he didn't notice the eyes were staring at him, watching his every move. Either side of the painting stood two old medieval suits of armor. Captain Scarlet looked at one, then the other. One had its arm raised, and in its hand was an old weapon. He walked over to it and pressed on the arm. It moved, and the painting suddenly lifted upwards to reveal Holt and Goddard with a large machine gun.
Don't move, Captain Scarlet.
You? Melody was right. Something did happen to the XQR.
Correct, Earthman. I'm sorry you've discovered my plan before its execution. You will see now why I wanted to hold the air conference here. Tomorrow morning, on the stroke of 10, the entire Supreme Command of the World Air Force will be wiped out, here in this room.
You'll never get away with it.
You are a remarkable man, Captain Scarlet, I know. But I don't intend to let you or Spectrum thwart my plan. Tomorrow at 10, those men will die.
Captain Scarlet was now in deadly peril. Back in the air, Melody was still on patrol. Unsettled by what she'd seen in the storm the previous day, she scoured the area where she'd lost contact with the XQR. But below, there were only empty fields and trees, and no sign that an aircraft had made a forced landing. She called Cloud Base.
Go ahead, Melody.
I'm now covering the final area of the search zone. Still no sign of XQR.
SIG, Melody. Looks like Melody's report was a false alarm, sir.
Yes. All the same, I won't be satisfied until Captain Scarlet gives the clearance from the castle. Talk of the devil. Go ahead, Captain Scarlet.
Colonel, I have to report complete security clearance on the conference center.
Thank you, Captain. I'm glad to hear it.
The conference can proceed as planned.
Right. I'll give Symphony clearance to land immediately.
Thank you, Colonel.
But it had not been Scarlet speaking. It was Goddard's near-perfect impersonation.
All right, Holt. We will deal with Captain Scarlet later. Throw him in the dungeon for the present. Then take up your position in the hall.
Yes, sir.
The Magnacopter was nearing its destination.
Your attention, please. We are now approaching the conference center. Touchdown will be in approximately 3 minutes.
Before long, the Magnacopter was circling above the castle. The area around it was completely deserted, and there was no sign of any danger below. Symphony brought the sleek helicopter slowly into land on the roadway just outside the castle keep, completely unaware of Goddard's trap. Meanwhile, Melody was still on patrol when something caught her eye on the ground below. Turning her aircraft, she flew directly over the wreck of the original XQR.
Melody Angel, are you quite certain about this?
Yes, sir. I have positively identified the markings on the crashed aircraft as those of the XQR, and there could have been no survivors.
There's only one explanation. Goddard and the pilot must have been taken over by the Mysterons. Those delegates have walked straight into a trap. Lieutenant Green, inform Symphony Angel at once.
Still no sign of Captain Scarlet, Morton?
No, miss. I've looked everywhere.
I just can't understand it. Well, if he doesn't show up in a few minutes, I'll have to report to Cloud Base. I'm going to take another look in his bedroom.
Right. I'll cover the west wing.
Symphony Angel went upstairs to look for Captain Scarlet. Turning the handle cautiously, she slowly pushed open the door to his bedroom. It was completely empty. As she slowly stepped inside, a noise made her turn suddenly, but then a large iron gate slammed down across the doorway behind her.
It's no use, sir. I'm getting no reply from either Captain Scarlet or Symphony Angel.
And there's trouble, all right. Get me Captain Blue.
Yes, sir.
He must leave for Glengarry immediately.
With no time to lose, I headed off in a Spectrum passenger jet, leaving Colonel White playing a recording of the Mysteron threat.
We will continue to strike when and where you least expect it, at the appointed hour. As the clock is chiming, the wings of the world will be clipped.
It's all too obvious. Bring the chiefs of the world air forces together in a lonely place and destroy them. What time is it, Lieutenant?
Almost 9:45, sir. The conference will start in 15 minutes.